Yo, what's good, guys? We're going to be going over the UFC 307 full card predictions, starting with the early prelims, ending with the main event. We're going to go over each and every single one of these fights. I wrote a bunch of notes, spent all day writing a bunch of notes. Uncle Dana's in the house. So without further ado, let's get into the first fight. This is the last minute prediction video for UFC 307, Khalil Rountree versus Alex Pereira, which takes place in Salt Lake City, Utah, over 5,000 feet up in the air. Without further ado, let's start it off with a bang. McGee versus Tim Means. McGee versus Tim Means. Tim Means is a minus 196. McGee is a plus 164. Both made weight. Everybody made weight. This is what I like about professional fighting at the highest level. Everybody makes weight, including Kayla Harrison, who fought at 145. She still makes weight, considering she's fighting at 134. We're looking at the first fight. They face off. They get angry at each other. Over 2.5 is minus 196. Fight probably goes over the distance. Two guys over the hill who are close to retirement, who are fighting. Fight goes the distance, yes, at a minus 158. If you want, take that better than the over. Over 2.5 is just in case, somebody gets a late round 3 TKO. Fight goes the distance, yes, at a minus 158. More likely the option. In my opinion, if this fight goes the distance, both guys will be tired. McGee, maybe he can get a ground and pound TKO. Could happen. I don't think McGee is subbing Tim Means. Means does have 7 losses and sub tap out by Kevin Holland, Alex Moreno, and maybe McGee. Maybe he can get one. Kind of just grinds on people. I see this fight goes distance. Last time McGee subbed someone was in 2010. Maybe Means completely gasses, but trains at elevation at Albuquerque. McGee trains at Salt Lake City in his hometown. McGee money line is great if you want that. If you want the spread on McGee, he could definitely win one round. In my opinion, I'm going to go Tim Means to win this fight. And I'm going to go Tim Means to win this fight by submission or on points. Let's break down all the odds. Tim by points is plus 155. McGee by points is plus 310. Tim by sub or points, plus 115. That's my best prop. We're not done, though. Means by KO or points, minus 170. I don't know why that's favored, but maybe they think a guy like McGee, who has been KO'd time and time again in the past and is on a bit of a skid, is going to get knocked out to a guy like Tim Means. I don't see it happening. I see Tim Means maybe getting a sub over it. But if you like the KO on points, minus 170 is not bad. Turns a minus 196, maybe 200 now into a minus 170. Reduce it by 30 points. McGee by sub or points is plus 195. If you want to play that, I recommend just take money line. Don't get fancy with it. McGee by KO or points is plus 230. My best prop is Tim Means by sub or points. In my opinion, I think Tim Means can win this fight 29-28. After a brutal first round, it's going to be tiring. Maybe he loses the first or maybe he loses the third. I can definitely see a 29-28 happening. Maybe it's controversial because of how tired these guys look. They both trained elevation, though. They shouldn't be that tired after 10 minutes. Maybe once it gets to the 13, 14, 15, they'll be tired. But with all that being said, give me Tim Means by submission or points at a plus 115. I like the money line, too. It's not that bad. Next fight. 754. Tecia Torres versus Carla Esparza. Carla Esparza is a plus 152. Tecia Torres is a minus 188. Favored. This is the rematch. Over 2.5 is a minus 700. Tecia by points is minus 120. Let's talk about it. I think this fight has more of a chance to go to the distance. More than anything, this fight's more likely to go in the distance. Over 2.5, minus 700. Throw that out the window. We're not playing that. Esparza by points, plus 200. Okay, maybe we could play that. My first early prediction, I went with Carlos Esparza. This is going to be an official pick flip. I'm going with Tecia Torres to win this fight. Tecia might play the range game, sit back, and lose the decision. Tecia tends to make fights way more competitive than they need to be. I've never seen someone come from pregnancy and also fully vocally admitting that this is their retirement fight. We've never seen both of them happen. We've seen somebody come from pregnancy and win. We've seen somebody vocally admit that this is their retirement fight, but have we seen them both together? No. My first time seeing this. Pennington price tag is way too high. You never want to lay a 2-to-1 price tag on a girl like Tecia. She is 2 fights removed since having a baby. Back-to-back splits, motivated to get a win. I like that motivation compared to a person who's coming back in here just to retire. Maybe she really wants to go out on a win, but not likely unless she wrestles hard. Both women are decision machines. Carla Esparza looks great on the scales. I wouldn't even know that she just had a baby. If you told me, bro, I wouldn't even know. There's no way I would know. They both look good, though. Let's talk about the props. Esparza by points, plus 200. Tecia by KO on points, minus 165. Carla by sub or points, plus 175. On Carla's side, plus 175 for sub or points is the best prop. It's the best prop for Carla Esparza's side. But, you know me, I'm making an official pick flip on 6 Best Bets video. I chose Tecia Torres, and I chose her to win by decision. What am I going to go? I'm going to go Tecia by points at a minus 120. If you want to play it safe, go Tecia by KO on points at a minus 165. In my opinion, Carla has the best angles, but in women's MMA, you can't be that old. You gotta, especially in the strawweight division. A girl like Tecia is going to be fighting after coming off of 2 very close split decisions. She's going to make this one, and she needs a win. I think she can get this done. Good fight, great fight. Give me Tecia Torres 29-28 by decision, 9-27. You guys know this one, Ryan Spann versus OSP. Rescheduled bout. Ryan Superman Spann looks good. Braided his hair. Something that I want to do when my hair gets longer. I like braids, you know, it looks cooler. OSP has the collar. Looks like he's ready to fight. You know, Ovince Preux, that Bond flu choke. Something that he's very notable for. So plus 198 for OSP. Ryan Spann is a minus 250. I want this camera to get a little closer. There we go. Now we can see. Minus 250, all for Ryan Spann. All this guy does is flick a jab and front kick. I'm talking about OSP. All this guy does is flip a jab and front kick. Jab, front kick. The entire fight. OSP is boring, fights at elevation. Maybe that could be an advantage because Ryan Spann slows down after round 1. Ryan Spann is 8 years younger. I don't want to give the 41-year-old who's hanging on for dear life a cardio advantage. Ryan Spann comes out like a bat out of hell in round 1. He dumps all of his energy round 1. I don't think this version of OSP can survive that onslaught. He got TKO'd by Felipe Lins. Felipe Lins is 39 years old. Not a fantastic look. But now he's on a good win streak. Ryan Spann hits as hard as Lins. I would say I don't see OSP surviving. I wouldn't be shocked if Ryan Spann gets a round 2 finish, although he is a round 1 only fighter. I don't see OSP winning. Period. That's what I said. Spann by KO, plus 105, over 1.5. Under 1.5, let's talk about it. Over 1.5 is a minus 110. Under 1.5 is a minus 112. They're both favored. Pick your poison. Pick your poison. In my opinion, if you want to play the under prop. Under prop at a minus 112. It's favored, and we'll see what it looks like by tomorrow. Spann by KO or sub is minus 165. Spann by KO or on points is minus 155. Spann by KO on points is minus 155. Spann by KO or sub is minus 165. It's almost the same thing. OSP by KO is plus 700. Fight doesn't go the distance, minus 370. OSP by KO or on points, plus 270. I don't think it's possible. In my opinion, give me Ryan Spann by KO or on points at a minus 155. But if we don't want to play that game, let's just take Ryan Spann at a minus 250. I want to play that game. I want to get fancy with the props. Give me the under 1.5 at a minus 112. And give me Spann by KO on points at a minus 155. 1048, 1048. Great start already. This card is stacked. César Almeida versus... César Almeida's coming off of that loss to Roman Kopylov, one of his first pro losses in his MMA career. Very notable fight. The odds were very, very close when we were talking about that fight. He faces off against Ihor Potieria. César Almeida... This is another over 1.5 or under 1.5 type prop. If you want to play with that prop, you can play with it. We can definitely cash out on some of these over props. Ihor Potieria versus César Almeida. Ihor Potieria is a plus 300. César Almeida is a minus 400. Both guys made 185.5. César has been training with Alex Polton Pereira. Very good, very, very good face-off. They both get in each other's face. And let me mention this. I just lost my train of thought. He's been training with Alex Polton Pereira. Slight height advantage. Ihor has a slight height and reach advantage. Kind of like a little bit of a slight. He's taller and he looks a little bit bigger. He's coming down from 205. He had a speed advantage at 205. World's different athletes. And he's just in... César Almeida is an improved striker. Grappling defense for César. I expect César Almeida to bounce back. KO TKO prop is a minus 225 on some bookies. On my bookie specifically, Almeida by KO is a minus 180. It's still 2-1. It's chalky locky. You can put him in a parlay. What if he grapples hard and gets a sub? Don't play the KO prop. Let's play the under 1.5. In my opinion, fight doesn't go the distance, minus 600. Throw that out the window. Over 1.5, minus 106. Under 1.5, minus 120. Give me the under 1.5. Almeida by KO, minus 180. If you want to go Almeida by KO, that's not bad at all. More likely than not. More likely for him to knock him out than win a decision or submission. Or if you want to go Almeida by KO or on points, it's up to you what you want to choose. And whichever one you want to choose your poison wisely. In my opinion, Almeida by KO or on points is fine. The only thing about that is it's juiced. If you want to go César Almeida by KO or on points, you're going to see it and it's not going to look the best. It's going to, I'll tell you right now exactly what it is. César Almeida by KO or on points is minus 320. So play the over or the under. If you don't want to play the over or the under, then just go Almeida by KO at minus 180. In my opinion, I think Almeida should be able to win this fight. He's a world-class kickboxer, has fought guys like Alex Pereira, and I think he should be levels above Ihor Potieria. No ifs and questions about it. He should be able to run right through a guy like Ihor Potieria and pay for what Ihor Potieria did to Shogun Rua. He was dancing on him, and I don't like that. I don't like the way he disrespected Shogun Rua. So give me César Almeida under 1.5 at a minus 120, and give me Almeida by KO at a minus 180. Let's go. 1206. Are you ready for this one? Are you ready for this one? This one is one that we all don't expect what's going to happen. Austin Hubbard versus Alexander Hernandez. Alexander Hernandez is minus 148 versus Austin Hubbard, who's a plus 120. Earlier this week, I said Austin Hubbard's going to win because of the elevation, and a guy like Alexander Hernandez tends to fade when it comes to this fight game. He's been in the fight game longer, has faced tougher competition, way tougher competition. And let's go over the odds. Minus 148 for Alexander Hernandez. Austin Hubbard is a plus 120. Confident guy versus a guy who just got his ass whooped. I like Hernandez by decision. Moneyline is better, though. Do we have to get fancy? We don't have to get fancy. The over is in play, but remember, elevation is a factor. Although they both train at elevation, if one of these guys has a better gas tank, it's Austin Hubbard. No ifs and buts, questions about it. Hernandez by points is plus 175. Hubbard by points is plus 220. Will this fight go the distance? Yes, at a minus 186. Hernandez by KO or on points, minus 140. Hubbard by KO or on points, plus 130. Official pick flip on my side. This is an official pick flip on my side. A second official pick flip. We're going Alexander Hernandez to win this fight, and we're going Alexander Hernandez to win this fight by KO or on points at a minus 140. He should be able to win this fight. He should be able to win the first and the second round. If he's going to lose a round, it's probably going to be the third round after he gasses hard. Very questionable fight. 1-800-GAMBLER type of fight. I don't recommend a lot of people to play this fight, and I don't recommend a lot of people to sprinkle anything on this fight. If you want to take something, don't get fancy with it. Just take the money line on either side. If you want to take Austin Hubbard, take the money line. If you want to take Alexander Hernandez, take the money line. Very close odds, but in my opinion, I'm going to go Hernandez by KO on points, and I'm going to take that at minus 140. It's going to be a very good fight. Austin Hubbard has a gas tank. He can push a guy like Alexander Hernandez, and if he gets him tired in that third round, don't be surprised if a guy like Austin Hubbard can put the pace on him and finish a guy like Alexander Hernandez, who we've seen have very close fights with Jim Miller. Give me Alexander Hernandez to win this fight by decision, 29-28, after losing the third round. 13-27. Marina Rodriguez, one of my favorite fighters, plus 160 versus Iasmin Lucindo, who's a minus 200. A minus 200 for Iasmin Lucindo, who's 22 years old, versus a 37 years old who's been in the game for ever and who's faced the toughest competition, who's coming off of a split decision that you can arguably... I think she lost that fight, but you can arguably say it was close and it could have went either way. Marina Rodriguez is tall, lacks power, lacks finishing ability, and if the fight tends to be a little bit closer than it needs to be, all you need to do is just take down a girl like Marina Rodriguez, and you should be able to win the round and lay down on top of her. Her get-up game didn't look that good against Jessica Andrade, and she didn't look like she didn't look that good when she was getting hit. In my opinion, she doesn't look good when she's getting hit and on the back foot. It makes it seem like the judges do not like that. So I don't know if they're going to like this at all with Marina Rodriguez. If she gets hit hard with a big overhand right, big overhand left, the judges might not like that, and they might just give the round to Iasmin Lucindo. In my opinion, 22 years old, no knock if she loses. I don't like laying minus 185 on Iasmin sub. On Iasmin, right? Sub prop is great because grappling. 10-1 on sub prop isn't bad. Marina Rodriguez has never been subbed, though. Rodriguez is going to make Iasmin shoot. Maybe a hard, sneaky, cheeky, little round 2 or 3 sub by Lucindo. has been in brawls with chinny people, and she doesn't KO. So Iasmin lacks the knockout ability power on her hand. Her best weapon is submission game. Marina Rodriguez lost split. Most recent fight to Andrade, legendary name, very well-rounded skill set. And if you went full 15 minutes with a legend, you probably still got it. Close fight to call. Close fight to call. Fight goes the distance? Yes. Most of these fights are going to go to the distance. I wouldn't be surprised if all these fights prior to the ones that I'm about to break down after go the distance. Fight goes the distance, yes. Over 2.5, minus 340. Iasmin Lucindo by points, plus 115. Marina Rodriguez by points, plus 240. Iasmin Lucindo by points, plus 115. Marina Rodriguez by points, plus 240. Iasmin by sub or points, minus 120. Iasmin by KO or points, minus 160. Rodriguez by KO or points, plus 165. Just give me Marina Rodriguez by points. Marina by points at a plus 240. I'll take that. I think Iasmin Lucindo is going to get outstruck on the feet. And I think if this fight stays standing for 15 minutes, Marina Rodriguez can give her a hard ass whooping and definitely make a girl like Iasmin Lucindo pay, including the elevation. If Marina Rodriguez can defend the takedowns, now we're talking. If she gets taken down, it's a wrap. She's going to get taken down 15 minutes controlled. Give me Marina Rodriguez. Marina Rodriguez to win this fight 29-28 after losing the second round. Maybe she loses. Nah, she loses the first. She always loses the first. After losing the first round and then winning the second and third. I wouldn't be surprised if this even goes to split decision. But give me Marina Rodriguez. If you want to play Iasmin Lucindo, play her by sub or points at a minus 120. I don't think she's knocking out Marina Rodriguez at all. Give me Marina Rodriguez to win this fight at a 29-28 split decision. 14:45. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson versus Joaquin Buckley. Oh, this is going to be a good one. Plus 184 for Wonderboy Thompson. Joaquin Buckley is a minus 230. Over 2.5 is a minus 220. Under 2.5 plus 170. I don't think it's likely. Wonderboy by points, plus 310. Buckley by sub or KO. Maybe if you want to play that, right? Buckley by sub or KO, right? Right now, for some reason, it's not in my bookie. Let's see it right now. I had it in my notes. Buckley by sub or KO. Here we go. Joaquin Buckley by KO or submission, plus 220. Plus 220. Buckley by KO or points, minus 210. Wonderboy by KO or points, plus 190. Buckley by sub or points, plus 115. Fight ends by points, minus 190. Give me that this fight goes the distance. And let's read what I wrote. Buckley's jacked. Man's abs popped out 2 inches. Holland and Wonderboy went back and forth at the mall, and Buckley said that he's going to shoot in the first 10 seconds on Wonderboy. Wonderboy seems to have a tougher cut. Fun fight. If Buckley's smart, he uses the takedowns and gets under the hips and explodes. If you don't like Buckley, I understand it's his personality. Wonderboy isn't a KO guy. Buckley should wrestle hard. Wonderboy by decision. Buckley can be knocked out, but that was in the earlier pinnacle of his career. Buckley is a very good hard grappler if he tends to. He grappled against Rosenboev, and he's grappled against his former opponents. Wonderboy is the striker. You do not want to strike 15 minutes with a guy like Wonderboy. The only thing is, he's 42 years old, one of the oldest fighters on the entire roster. Nice guy, Mr. Nice Guy. How long does Mr. Nice Guy play? Does Mr. Nice Guy lose on Saturday night for being too nice? I don't think so. I like Buckley. If you want to go Buckley by decision. You can go Buckley by decision. That's not bad. But give me Wonderboy to win this fight by 29-28, unanimous decision. I think he's going to be too quick, too smooth. And he's faced guys like Bilal. He's faced guys like... It's not on the top of my head. He's faced guys like Kevin Holland. And he's faced some of the most notable people in his division. The only thing is age is a considering factor, a major factor. And a guy like Buckley is very good and has made a new regimen in the welterweight division. So if he wins this one, he will be on a very good win streak. Buckley should be able to wrestle in this fight. I just think Wonderboy's going to be too quick, too smooth for him. And in the striking department, he's levels above him. We saw guys like Chris Curtis be able to knock him out. I know that was time and time long ago. Kevin Holland knocked him out. I know that was time and time long ago. But a guy like Wonderboy should be able to eke out a split decision. If he's not able to, then he's over the hill and just get cut from the UFC. But that's fine. No matter what, give me Wonder Boy, give me the dog, and give me the plus 184 to win this fight by 29-28 unanimous decision. Very close fight. I can understand the Buckley side. 16-12. Kayla Harrison versus... Wait. Hang on. Okay, here we go. Yep. Kayla Harrison versus Ketlen Vieira. Minus 1,100. Minus 1,100 for Kayla Harrison. Ketlen Vieira is a plus 650. Kayla looks close to death on the scale. Close to absolute death on the scale. I like this little bow that they did. They both did a little bow. Show that they're both ready for this fight. And show that they both have respect. Ketlen Vieira and Kayla Harrison got a lot of time to talk yesterday. They talked for majority of the time yesterday. Like the reporters were acting like simps yesterday because all these motherfuckers would do was ask these girls questions. That's fine though. That's fine. Kayla, she looked pretty rough on the scales today. She looked really, really rough today. But now she looks good. She looks really good. She puts herself through hell to make 135, although she used to fight at 145. Ketlen used the black box of shame today, but she made weight. She looked great. Huge smile. Always has a smile on her face. These two size up really well. Kayla is thicker, 2 times thicker. Same height almost. Thicker, respectful bow. That was perfect. It's on. Now I can't wait for this fight. I like Kayla inside the distance at a plus 110. Kayla by decision isn't bad either, but in the women's MMA division, it isn't as deep as the men's division. If she is truly champ material, she shouldn't have a problem with Ketlen. Like Holly Holm, she just ran through her. When she was in the PFL, inside the distance, props were minus 250, minus 300 on both sides. A prop they would give you is plus money on plus 100. So let's say they would put plus 100 on both KO and plus 100 on sub and make you pick your poison back in the PFL. She can, okay, back in the PFL, I don't know if I did a great job at explaining that, but back in the PFL, sub, the finish inside the distance prop was already juiced to the grills, but sub or KO separate was plus 100 on either side. So right now, UFC hasn't gotten to that point yet where they know where Kayla Harrison is completely. So inside the distance is plus money. Over 2.5 is minus 154. And Harrison by sub or points is minus 220. They expect her to win by sub or points. That's fine. If you want her to win by KO or on points, it's a minus 260. Which is crazy, but it's not likely because I don't think she can KO a girl like Ketlen Vieira. Unless it's ground and pound. Sometimes Harrison will, ground and pound vicious and then make you turn and then she gets your neck. This can either be either way. You want to pick your poison, pick your poison. I'm not going to pick my poison. I'm going to just take Kayla Harrison by submission or on points at a minus 220. It was a minus 210 earlier. I don't know if that makes that much of a big difference. Give me a minus 220, Kayla Harrison by sub or points, and give me Kayla Harrison to finish this fight inside the distance at a plus 110. She should be able to run exactly right through a girl like Ketlen Vieira. She got taken down by Holly Holm. And Holly Holm was able to beat a girl like Ketlen Vieira from just clinching her against the fence. Let's go. If you want to play the over 2.5, play it at a minus 154. But in my opinion, I'm going to go Kayla Harrison by sub. And that's a plus 340. Harrison by points is plus 110. If you want to play it, play it. But in my opinion, I think this fight ends inside the distance. So give me Kayla Harrison by KO. Give me Kayla Harrison by sub or on points at a minus 220. It's the safest prop. Kevin Holland versus Roman Dolidze. Roman Dolidze is a plus 128. This is my lock of the week versus Kevin Holland, who's a minus 158. Holland versus Dolidze face off. Excuse me. Holland versus Dolidze face off is a guy who we've seen cut down to minus 170 to 170 before welterweight. Kevin Holland. Before, Roman Dolidze used to fight at 205 and did not look out of place. Decent height and size advantage. Dolidze is taller and broader. This fight makes Holland look so skinny. If you like Holland, you should take a money line. Dolidze is a guy like Ian Cutelaba. He will not follow the game plan. If Dolidze puts on a singlet and wrestles, he can win. He never follows the game plan through. He's the type of guy who will grapple hard in round 1, and then he doesn't grapple and he starts striking in round 2 and 3. Holland is faster, significantly faster. Dolidze is slow no matter who he fights. Kevin Holland, no way Kevin Holland finishes Dolidze. He's tough to get out. Kevin Holland isn't the type of guy who's going to get a triangle choke on Roman Dolidze, but he can get a Darce or a Bulldog choke. It's not likely though. So is Holland going to knock him out? I don't know. I think I think his power was more better at 170. Dolidze has a better chin. Kevin, by decision, plus 175 could be the move for you. What I'm going to go is, I'm going to go the over 2.5 at a minus 225. Under 2.5 is plus 172, but I don't like it. And I like Roman Dolidze. I like Roman Dolidze to win this fight by submission or on points. And that's Roman Dolidze by sub or on points. In my opinion, is the best outcome. If you want to go Roman Dolidze by KO or on points, it's plus 145. And in my opinion, it's not bad. Dolidze by sub is plus 1,400. Dolidze by points is plus 220. Holland by KO is plus 450. And Holland by sub is plus 800. I like Dolidze by sub or KO. I mean, by sub or on points. In my opinion, I think it's one of the most likely outcomes. Not only do I think it's one of the most likely outcomes, but I think this fight's going to go the distance. If it goes the distance and it touches the ground, maybe Roman Dolidze can make Holland look like he's in a pretzel. Because we see notable times where Dolidze looks amazing on the ground. He looks way better on the ground than he looks standing. And double chance for Roman Dolidze by sub or on points is plus 175. So it seems like it's favored for him to get a knockout or win by points. I think plus 175 for Roman Dolidze by sub or points is the best outcome. And I wouldn't be surprised if Roman gets sub on a guy like Kevin Holland. It's going to be a good fight. Let's go Roman Dolidze, and let's go lock of the week. Let's get it, baby. Roman Dolidze by decision 29-28 or by submission. Let's go. 1846, baby. Jose Aldo Jr. versus Mario Batista. Are we already here? Sorry, guys. Are we already here? It's already fight day. It's already time. It's already time. Jose Aldo versus Mario Batista. Jose Aldo's a plus 118 now that we speak. Mario Batista's a minus 144. Batista looks old. This guy looks like a guy named George Lopez. Or, I don't know. But he looks old. Old. That's fine. He looks older than a guy like Jose Aldo. It shows a lot of wear and tear on the face. That's fine. Mario Batista is a minus 144. Plus 118 for Jose Aldo. Jose Aldo by decision is a plus 195. I like it. Jose Aldo by KO or points is a plus 120. I don't think you need to get fancy with that. Over 2.5 is a minus 330. That's fine. We all know this fight's going to go the distance. Mario by KO or on points is a minus 140. Why would you take that when you could just take the money line? All of Mario Batista's losses are by finish. He got finished by Trevin Jones. Jose Aldo inside the distance, plus 550. Jose Aldo by KO, plus 700. I don't think Mario can stand 15 minutes with a guy like Jose Aldo. It's going to be a very, very good fight. One of my most anticipated fights of the entire card. The King of Rio versus Mario Batista. Mario Batista is really good. He's really good when it comes to the fighting game. He had a very close fight against Ricky Simon, split decision, 1-1, heading into the third. And then he was able to eke out a decision and show that he's levels above Ricky Simon. I think a guy like Jose Aldo should be able to run right through a guy like Mario Batista. If he's not able to KO him at a plus 700, give me Jose Aldo money line. Just give me underdog money line. He's one of the best lock of the weeks on the entire card. Plus 118 for Jose Aldo. If you want to play it and get fancy, if you want more plus money, just go Jose Aldo by decision at a plus 195. I think it's good. Not bad at all. 23.05. Give me Jose Aldo to win this fight by decision at a plus 195 by 29-28. Unanimous decision. That's free money, baby. 23.05. Rocky Pennington versus Juliana Pena. Raquel Pennington is a minus 172. Juliana Pena is a plus 140. Plus 140 on Juliana Pena. Plus 140 on Juliana Pena is insane. In my opinion, she can definitely win this fight and she could definitely get a submission. If you want to play the dog, you can play it. We see these girls get right into each other's face. Juliana Pena looks pretty good. She looks way better than Rocky Pennington. And we know that they have a lot of beef and they had a lot of going back and forth yesterday. Okay. For Rocky, she weighed in at 134.5. For Pena, she was also 134.5. Rocky has fought everybody in MMA and has never looked any better. That's how she always looks on the scales. Juliana Pena has visible abs. She looks great in shape, especially after 2 years off. She's slightly larger. Juliana has held a belt before. I don't know if it's because of the shoes, but she's taller than Rocky. That's what I see. Rocky hurt Mayra Bueno Silva with her hands. I don't know what to expect from Pena. Very strong wrestler. Juliana has a win over Amanda Nunes. One thing we can never take away from Juliana Pena is her win over Amanda Nunes. Juliana, she could get a sub, right? Juliana Pena has been training with Bilal. Who else has been training with Bilal? Ignacio Bahamondes, who beat Manuel Torres. I don't know what you want to do with that, but people who train with Bilal do not lose. Juliana Pena is that girl, and Bilal will be in the corner of her, which is insane. This is insane, the fact that Bilal's going to be in her corner. Probably one of the best bases for MMA is training with Bilal. He's a master partner to work with. Ignacio Bahamondes won, and he also was training with Bilal Muhammad. Amanda did have COVID, though, at the time that Juliana Pena beat her. We don't know. Maybe Amanda Nunes didn't have COVID. We don't know. All I'm going to say is the over 4.5 is at minus 260. Raquel by sub or points is at minus 165. Raquel by KO or points is minus 110. I don't like that. I like Raquel by sub or points at a minus 165. Juliana Pena by sub or points plus 170. Juliana Pena by KO or sub plus 420. Raquel Pennington by points plus 110. Juliana Pena by sub plus 650. I like Raquel Pennington by points at a plus 110, but if we don't want to get fancy, give me Raquel Pennington by sub or on points at a minus 165. I think these girls are going to fight, and I think if Juliana Pena tends to gas, if she gets tired, if she gets into the position where she doesn't want to fight no more, although we've seen Raquel Pennington quit on the stool against Amanda Nunes, I don't think Juliana Pena is going to quit. She can get overwhelmed by a girl like Rocky Pennington and maybe get dropped and finished by TKO. It's possible. So if you don't want to get fancy, just take Raquel Pennington at a minus 172. What's wrong with it? There's nothing wrong with it. It's parlayable. But if you do want to get fancy, let's do Raquel Pennington by sub or on points at a minus 165 and give me the over 4.5 at a minus 260. I think Raquel Pennington should be able to win this fight by unanimous decision, 48-47, 49-46, and 48-47. With all that being said, Juliana Pena has the sub side. She has the finishing ability, and she has more heart and grit. We've seen it time and time again. No ifs and buts about it. A girl like Juliana Pena has way more heart than a girl like Raquel Pennington, but Raquel Pennington is a champion for a reason. Two former champs. Former champ versus the current champ going at it. We'll see who retains the belt or who gets the belt. We'll see who ends up with the belt tomorrow, Saturday night. And I think it's going to be Raquel Pennington. So give me Raquel Pennington at a minus 172. And give me the over 4.5 at a minus 260. 28-53. It's going to be a good fight. Good fight. Give me Raquel by decision. 28-53. 28-53. Shama. Alex Poatan Pereira versus Khalil Rountree. Alex Poatan Pereira is a minus 480. Khalil Rountree is a plus 350. Everyone and their mother, and myself included, is picking Poatan. He's 37 years old, has been knocked out before. There's a chance Khalil lands a couple straights and hurts him. Not likely. Poatan has the height and reach advantage. We've seen how Poatan makes a wrong mistake and then he gets lights out. But that was one time. I don't see him making the same mistake twice. Alex by sub is crashed. I don't know if Alex and Kayla Harrison made a deal where Kayla has to get a KO and Alex Pereira has to get a submission. But if you want to play it, it was at a plus 2,000. Now it's at a plus 1,400. The bookies are on it. Khalil has only been subbed once in his entire career. Alex is a kickboxer, one of the best strikers in the UFC. He is going to come here and kickbox with a Thai fighter. I doubt sub happens unless Khalil shoots. Majority think it will be a kickboxer boxing match, and Khalil is going to be the Thai fighter. Khalil has a puncher's chance, and his price tag fits like if it's a puncher's chance. We're going to look at how Poatan looked on the scale. Earlier today, he looked really good. They both made weight. No problem with Poatan making weight. He's always been a guy to make weight. Always. Company man. I seen this guy fight almost 10 times in the span of 2 years, bro. Like, this guy fights every 6 months. Poatan seems to struggle with straight punches or very fast over-the-top punches. If you can bait Poatan, there's an opening. I don't think it will be there, though. He won't make the same mistake twice. But we know Poatan will be trying to KO him rounds 1, 2, and 3. That's a great prop. I'm going to talk about it later. Khalil won't stand there just to be hit like Yuri and Jamal. Khalil needs to duck and move. Khalil needs to get in and out of exchanges, and he needs to use his footwork. Poatan is solid. He doesn't want to go back to 185, and he changed his mind, and he said he wanted to keep defending his belt at 185, at 205. He said, I don't want to go back to 185, although he made an Instagram post that got 1.4 million likes saying that, DDP, we should go. What's good? Let's go at it. And now he's saying he wants to defend back at light heavyweight. Are you scared of Dricus du Plessis or what, motherfucker? Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But we know that was a tough weight cut. But I want to see him fight Dricus du Plessis, but that's fine. He's probably not going to be able to fight Dricus du Plessis. He's probably going to continue to defend his light heavyweight belt after he wins over a guy like Khalil Rountree. Khalil shaved his beard. He looks good, spiritual. He said that he has nothing to lose, and he's in here to go into a barn fight, and he's not going to shoot any takedowns against a guy like Alex Pereira. Over 1.5, minus 134. You guys saw in my 6 best bets, I said the over 1.5 was playable, but also the under 1.5 at a plus 106 is playable as well. Peloton by KO is minus 260. Fight ends by KO, minus 550. The bookies are on it already. Peloton by KO or points, minus 360. Peloton by sub or KO, minus 320. Peloton by KO rounds 1, 2, or 3, minus 155. We hit the fucking jackpot. Peloton by KO rounds 1, 2, or 3 at a minus 155 is the best prop out there. Not only do I think it's the best prop out there, but I think it's the most likely outcome. If a guy like Peloton has to play this game where he has to try to find and evade his shots on a guy like Khalil Rountree might be too fast and too quick early. So we play this so that way if he doesn't get a KO in the first round, he gets a KO in the second or third. We know Peloton has that vicious power, especially at light heavyweight. It translates very well, and a guy like Peloton should be able to put lights out on a guy like Khalil Rountree. Although one thing I want to say is if you saw my breakdown on Khalil Rountree versus Peloton, you saw that there was a lot of openings that Peloton leaves himself with. He automatically starts with his hands low. Automatically when he's in a fight, after he throws a combination or gets hit really hard, he freezes. So you can definitely catch him. And another thing too, he likes to throw that one straight to the body. He likes to throw that open straight to the body. Khalil Rountree could definitely catch him with a nice uppercut or something slick over the top. We know Peloton doesn't do the best at defending the top of his head, and that's fine because he's way taller, 2 feet taller than a guy like Khalil Rountree. It looks more closer now compared to on Thursday's face-offs, but in my opinion, I think a guy like Alex Pereira to win by KOs in round 1, 2, or 3 at a minus 155 on FanDuel is perfect. And I'm going to be taking the over 1.5 at a minus 134 because this is at elevation. But if you want to take the under 1.5, it's plus money. I'm going to take the over 1.5 to be safe. I don't like playing that game where I'm counting on Peloton to finish him and I'm like, start faster. I think this fight isn't going to start as fast as normally people think. And I think Peloton's going to download a little bit more data. And especially this being at elevation, he might play this a little slow and get a second round or third round KO. A guy like Khalil, I don't see him getting finished in the first 5 minutes. If he does, Peloton's a demon. He is that guy. I see Peloton having to figure out a guy like Khalil Rountree struggling in the first round and then winning by KO in the second or third. In my opinion, I think rounds 1, 2, or 3 KO at a minus 155 is the best prop. If you don't like that, go Peloton by KO at a minus 260. If you don't like that either, just play the over 1.5 at a minus 134. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. When we see this face-off, it is a face-off. It's a cold face-off. A cold face-off. May the best man win. And they say the first guy to look away loses. Who's the first guy to look away? I don't know. We don't know, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, guys. We'll see who wins tomorrow. And I hope you guys are excited for this fight because there's a bunch of props, there's a bunch of bets, there's a bunch of overs, and I think a lot of fights might go to the distance, and we might get a lot of unexpected finishes. I'll see you guys in the next one. The best is blessed, baby. Ilia Topuria versus Max Holloway later this month. Let's fucking get it. Peace.